Naturally, the Thirsties are there disguised as vendors. One of them even runs onto the field and grabs the second base plate and runs off with it. What truly evil creatures, stealing that easily replaceable plate! These creatures are such unbelievable dicks that apparently their very presence wilts flowers. Wow. Next, they run out onto the field as one of our protagonists is sliding towards home base. Yes, apparently my analysis of them looking like suns is completely accurate, since they shine their own bodies on the umpire and the players so they can't see.
She blinded me with science!
What sort of messed up evolutionary chain would create these things? Are they aliens? Where are their internal organs? How can they just radiate like that? Why don't they wear pants? But you know what? Putting all of those perfectly legitimate questions aside, there's one really important question from the scene that demands an answer. Where is security? Or the cops? The Thirsties have attacked this field multiple times now, and there hasn't even been a token show of resistance. So anyway, since the umpire didn't see the kid sliding, they have to redo his turn at bat, making people more miserable. Our plan is working perfectly. No one is having any fun, except us. And we still have 1,298 ways left to spoil their game. Really, they sat down and made a list of all the various ways they could be jackasses at a softball game. This must be their culture's religion or something. So with everyone growing increasingly agitated, they finally decide screw it and call for the Kool-Aid Man, who instantly arrives and smashes through a sign. I can't wait for the Kool-Aid Man to be at the next PTA meeting where we learn that they have to cut funding to art and music so the school can afford a new score sign. So the Kool-Aid Man just tosses the Thirsties into a conveniently placed lake or something. Yeah, I don't know where the large body of water came from either. What gets me is that somehow these dingbats didn't think to do this without the aid of their savior, the pitcher of juice. You know, if the Thirsties are like miniature sentient suns, isn't dumping them into water killing them? I mean, their bodies are actually sizzling the water as they swim away, and they don't look happy, so it seems pretty evident to me that the Kool-Aid Man is a homicidal maniac. Oh, but we're not done yet. See, there are 2 stories in this epic tale, and here comes the one from the cover. Thirst in Space! So we meet a different group of annoying kids at an amusement park. Wow, just imagine being at an amusement park right now instead of this. The kids insult the designated nerd among them. What about you, Mr. Know-It-All? Are you having fun? Scott, my name is Warren Wilkinson, not Mr. Know-It-All, and I will admit that these illogical rides are amusing. What exactly is illogical about amusement park rides?
That, sir, is illogical.
Anyway, to restore my audience's sense and well-being, here's a giant thirsty monster. Its diabolical plan is to ruin everyone's fun by making them feel hot. Dear God, you're mad! It's not like they're in an amusement park where there's ice cream and water and soda readily available at concession stands! Naturally, there's a ship in orbit that, okay, now they're flat out stealing the angry sun from Super Mario Brothers. They're not even trying anymore. Okay, somehow this group of kids is able to summon the Kool-Aid Man, who bursts through the wall of a funhouse. That makes no sense! I know that's kind of a redundant statement when it comes to this comic, but they're outside of the funhouse! That means he must have been inside of it when they called out to him! What was he doing there? Isn't he always searching for the Thirsties? So the Kool-Aid Man taunts the giant Thirsty, since that's such a wise tactic, and actually tries to punch it. Damn, somehow despite the Kool-Aid Man lacking any such biology, he's got serious gonads. However, the punch passes right through the giant. The Kool-Aid Man reasons that that's because the giant's not real, that it's a hologram. Yes, you heard me, a hologram, which the comic points out is a 3-dimensional image made of light. Which makes so much sense, considering there's no projector, plus he was clearly menacing everyone earlier by blowing hot air on them and all. I didn't know light could do that. Oh, but that's nothing compared to the brilliant plan the Kool-Aid Man utilizes. Yeah, he takes a large mirror and somehow aims it in such a way as to reflect the light back into space, despite the fact that he's clearly aiming the mirror ground! After the Kool-Aid Man lands, everyone's more than happy to thank him for saving them from the non-threatening hologram. Why, one girl even asks to kiss him. His reaction? Oh yeah! You know, I wonder if those ice cubes in his head ever melt. I admire the way you used logic to defeat the hologram of that giant thirst monster. Logic? There's more logic in a frickin' Sudoku puzzle than there was in that dumbass plan! Oh, and with the laziest of segues, we find ourselves next to Professor Otis Klein and his crazy rocket. Why he has it in an amusement park is anyone's guess, considering he says this ship is apparently designed to go into outer space. The only problem? He can't figure out how to make it start. Yes, he made the damn thing, but he has no clue how to turn it on. I can't make this stuff up, people! So the Kool-Aid Man trips and accidentally starts up the rocket, launching them into space. Yeah, at this point, my brain has just become a puddle of mush that's accepting this nonsense. They pass an airplane where someone on it says that they just saw a UFO. The comic decides to inform us that a UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object. And, you know, I do think they did need that, since the only people who would enjoy this comic have a brain about the size of a sea monkey. So the kids, since they've seen enough science fiction movies, I'm serious here, say they know how to fly any spaceship. Dear Lord, this makes the premise of Armageddon actually seem plausible by comparison. So they see the Thirsty spaceship, which immediately fires upon them. If the Thirsty spaceship has advanced laser weapons on it, why in the hell are they screwing around with holograms when they can just lay waste to cities? That would ruin people's fun! The Kool-Aid Man dons a jetpack and flies out to confront the Thirsties, crashing through the wall, of course. I'm curious how the Kool-Aid that makes up the Kool-Aid Man doesn't instantly freeze in the vacuum of space, but hey, we're almost done. So the Kool-Aid Man just stands there while the Thirsties use their thirst ray on him, but the Kool-Aid Man is immune because he's, red. So the thirst ray overloads and blows up in their faces, causing them to instantly surrender. Yes, these guys surrendered because the Kool-Aid Man is just standing there. You know, I think this is a sign we should stop making fun of the French as cowards. For one thing, French resistance and all that during World War II, kicking ass like nobody's business. And secondly, the Thirsties prove there's a considerably more wussy civilization out there. So, not even bothering to take the Thirsties into custody or anything, the Kool-Aid Man just leaves and manages to get back to Earth by, being red. And so our comic ends with everyone sharing a laugh at the poor professor who still doesn't know how his spaceship that he built himself is supposed to work. This comic sucks in every conceivable way. You can't say it was meant for kids. Kids are smarter than this crap. The villains are lousy, the characters are non-entities, and again, it's a comic about the friggin' Kool-Aid Man! And not only does this comic mock science on almost every page, but it makes a mockery of God, too, since there's no way in hell he'd ever create beings like the Thirsties and the Kool-Aid Man!
Kids play harder than anybody else, and there's nothing like a kid's big thirst.
Oh yeah, I'm on my way.
You can feel it coming on, and you've got to have some.
Here I come to save the day.
Got to have some now. Kool-Aid to the rescue. The one for a kid's big thirst.
So I see, refreshing and bright, yeah.
Got to have some more. All right. It's Kool-Aid to the rescue. The one for kids.
Kool-Aid brand soft drink mix.
For a kid's big thirst.